Good morning, guys. Today we are going to talk about percents over 100. Like 110%, 115%. What this is good for is what we have been doing. We have been talking about items that are marked up. We've been talking about leaving a tip and the total cost. We've been talking about percent increase and then what would the new price be after you've increased something. We talked about tax. So, what is the cost of an item, including tax? All of these types of problems that we have done, it's pretty much taken you two steps in a lot of them. If you were trying to figure out the final cost of something and we included tax, what you had to do is you had to first find the amount of tax that was a certain percentage, and then you added it on to whatever you were purchasing. Okay, two steps. So now what we're going to do is use a percent over 100. It's a shortcut, okay, where we can solve to get that final answer in one step. Okay. All right, let's look at an example and I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, number one, it says last year a used car sold for $7,800. This year the car was marked up 6%. What is the cost of the car now? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to solve it the way that you guys learned last week, okay, using the two steps. And then I'm going to show you how we can use a percent over 100 to solve this problem in just one step, okay? All right, so right here we are looking for the cost of the new car now. It was marked up 6% and it was $7,800. Okay, so I'm going to use a proportion. The first thing I have to do, remember, is you have to find that amount, the amount that the car was marked up. So I'm going to think percent over 100 equals the change or the amount that it's marked up over the original. Okay, so it's going to be marked up 6%. I'm looking for the dollar amount that it's going to increase. And the original price of the car was $7,800. Okay, I'm going to do my cross products. Divide both sides by 100. Okay, so this car is going to be marked up $468. Okay, but we're looking for the new cost. So I have to take the original price, which was $7,800, and I'm going to add on $468. Now, to get the total, the new cost, which is $8,268. Okay, so we had two steps. First, we had to find the amount that it was marked up. Then we had to add that to the total, or the original cost, sorry, to get the new price. Okay, that was last week. Now we're going to solve this in one step. All right, this right here, let's explain what this is saying. To find the new cost, what you are actually doing is you are taking 100% of the original cost. Okay, 100% of what the car cost, because you have to pay for all of that. You are then adding on, this number was 6% of the original cost. So you're adding on 6%. Okay. This is just the dollar amount as 6%. And now I'm just writing it as a percentage. Once we add 100% of the used car to 6% of the used car, we now get 106% of that original cost. Okay? 106% of the original cost. That's our final answer. See how that percentage is over 100? So when I'm saying using percents over 100, we are going to just jump right to this, finding 106% of the cost of the car last year. Okay. So in one step, we're adding these two things together. We're adding the original cost plus the increase. Okay. So when I think about this, I know this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for 106%. So I'm going to do my percentage over 100. I'm looking for 106% of the original cost. The 106%, that's going to be my new cost. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. So these work together. 106% is going to give me my new cost. 100% is talking about the original cost, 100% of the original item. Okay, now that you have your proportion set up, you can do your cross products. So we multiply across, you get 100N, multiply across, you get 826,800. Divide both sides by 100, and you get your final answer of 8,268. One step, one proportion, one step. Okay. All right. Questions on that one? Okay. Let's look at, I'm going to come back to number 2. I just want to do another example like number 1 first. So let's jump down to number 3. It says, because of an increase of 8% in wholesale prices, a shoe store had marked up its new stock by the same percent. What was the new price of the pair of shoes that had sold for $24.50? All right, I'm going to do a proportion again. So I'm going to think percent over 100 equals the change, or with the change, over the original. Okay, so if I am looking for the new, if I'm looking for the new price, okay, I'm going to take 100% of the original cost. And then I'm going to add on the 8% increase. So the new price is actually 108% of the original cost. So I'm going to find 108%. This is going to be the new price. So in the top, that's what I'm looking for, is the actual dollar amount of the new price over the original cost, which was $24.50. Okay, so now I'm going to do my cross products. And when I multiply across, I get 100N equals 2,646. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 100. And I get my final answer of $26.46. Final cost, okay? And that number is 108% of the original cost, okay? All right, let's look at number 2. Sydney's ice skates sell for $46 after a 15% markup over last year. what was last year's price? Okay, so last year's price, we're actually looking for the original. Okay, that's what it was before it was marked up to the $46. Okay, so when you're finding the original price and we're talking about a percent markup, this is where you have to use that thinking of a percent over 100. Okay, so if the item is marked up 15% and this is the new price, this is actually 115% of last year's price, okay? Because you had last year's price, which was 100%, plus the 15% that it was increased. So we are actually finding 115% of that original cost, okay? So in the top, again, is the 115%. The new price is that 115%. That's equal to 115%. Over, we're looking for the original cost, 100% of the original cost. Okay, so that's why 100 and N would line up. And then because 100% of the original cost, and then 115 and 46 line up because this is the new cost. Okay, 115% is equivalent to the $46. Okay, now that you have your setup, you can do your cross products. Divide both sides by 115, and you're going to get your final answer of 40. Okay, so the original cost of the skates was $40. All right. Okay, let's look at another one. Number 4. Sarah spent $236.25 at the mall. This price included a 6% sales tax. How much was the tax? Okay, so this includes the 6%. So this number right here is 100% of the item plus the 6% sales tax. So $236 is 106%. Okay. So I'm going to think 106% over 100. I know that new cost. I know that 106%. I'm looking for the original price. Okay. Because in order to figure out how much the sales tax was, I got to know the original price to see what the difference is between the two costs. All right. So I'm going to do my cross products. Divide both sides by 106. And I'm going to get my answer of $222.88. Okay, we're not done with this problem though, because this problem is asking for the dollar amount of tax. And what we have here, this is the original cost before the sales tax. This is the cost with the sales tax. I just want to know, well, what was the amount of tax? So we're going to find that by taking the cost with the sales tax, subtracting the cost without the sales tax, and the difference between the two will give you the amount of sales tax. So Sarah is going to pay $13.35 in sales tax. Okay. All right, let's look at another one. The price of a new boat model was marked up 8% over the previous year's model. If the new boat cost $6,750, what was the price last year? All right, so this is the new cost. So now remember, this is including that 8% markup. So this number right here is actually 108% of that original cost. All right, we are looking for last year's price. So we're looking for the original price before it was marked up. Again, I think a proportion is the easiest. So we have 108% over 100 equals Now I know the 108%, 6,750 over. I'm looking for the original price. Okay, now that I have my proportion set up, I can do the cross products. Divide both sides by 100. And I get my final answer of, oh, not divide by 100. Sorry, guys. Divide by 108. And I will get my final answer of $6,250. So that is the original cost of the boat before the price was increased. Okay. All right, I'm going to do one more with you, and then I'm going to leave the rest for you guys to work on for homework practice. Okay, after receiving a 6% raise, Michael Joe earned $1,696. What was his salary before the increase? Okay, so his salary is going to increase 6%. So after the increase, he will be making 106% of what he was making before. This is saying what his new earnings is, okay? Because this is after receiving, this is the dollar amount. So this is actually 106%. What is his salary before the increase? Before the increase, we are looking for the original salary before it was increased. Okay, so let's set up a proportion. We are looking for 106%, or we know 106%, and as a dollar amount, that's $1,696, and we're looking for what his salary was before the increase. So we're going to do our cross products. Divide both sides by 106, and you get his original salary before the increase, and that was $1,600.